Hello buddy, welcome back to another episode of Just What I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did job quests, lots and lots of job quests, mainly the ones from my tanking jobs and my healing jobs. And in this episode we're gonna go and start with the DPS jobs. Lynn, finally. I have information on Ochaka. She is near Eugenia's Spire in the North Shroud. I'm in to confront her, to demand the truth from her. She and Zenta do not act of their own free will, of this I am certain. Nay, something has a hold over them. We will find out what it is. Come, sister, we go to the North Shroud. Quickly, while the trail is still fresh. Wider Gelt. He's extra wide. Humor. I found her like this. What has happened? Wiedergeld and Lynn? Rest assured my injuries are not serious. Sansa held back. But God, I feel like such a fool. No matter what he asked of us, we always did it without question. In so doing we thought we could survive, but in the end he commanded us to fight each other to the death to open our chakra. Fight to the death? Who commanded this? Who? Who else but our master? Rahatia. Rahatia is his name. Sorry. And he leads the sect of Shadow, but more than that, he was a father figure to Zensa and me. After our own parents abandoned us, Master Rahatia took us in and raised us. We always strove to please him, lest we lose our place. But today he made our worth to him abundantly clear. We are not his friends, let alone his family. Nay, we are not, but tools to be used and discarded. When we fought, Sansa thrust me off the cliff. She made it appear an accident, that I alone might flee. But I cannot flee while Sansa is still at our master's mercy. I must rescue her before he decides that she is no longer useful. And if you know what's good for you, you will put many months between yourselves and this place. Master will doubtless send people to verify my death. Ochaka, wait! Let us help you! What, you would help us after all the wrongs we have committed against you? Why? I once lusted for power. I stopped at nothing to obtain it. I used Lynn. I betrayed her. Worse, I tried to kill her. I repented. I started anew. Now someone is making the same mistake as me. I cannot ignore it, nor can I ignore those who suffer from it. But above all, my pupils are in trouble. I would help them. It is what a master would do. Oh, Wiedergeld. I will go with Ochaka to the hedge tree. See that no one follows. Join us when the area is safe. Wait, I was about to say, what is this quest? And then it's like, oh, it's that quest. Even worse. The mysterious assailants! A touch of death! It is safe here. You may speak freely. There is much I do not know. Please tell me everything. In the beginning, members of the Fist of Rhalgr strove to open all 14 chakra, 7 of light and 7 of shadow. Those who had opened all 7 of their native chakra were permitted to duel those who had achieved the same in the opposing aspect. For generations, such duels were held in great secrecy. But that ended with the massacre at the Temple of the Fist, when a sect of light was extinguished. And though the sect of Shadow survived by virtue of its obscurity, its disciples lost the means to open light chakra. That is until Master Rahatia learned of the sole survivor of the massacre, you, Bittergeld. And that was how Zensa and I came to you. Our master taught us that the disciples of light were but a means to an end, a resource to be used. He ingrained in us the belief that our two sects must ever be at odds, and we took him at his word, fools that we were. I understand now how things were in the past, how they are in the present. Most importantly, I know that light and shadow were formerly as one, and it may yet be so again. I will speak with Master Rahatia, convince him that our schools need not fight. Together we can rebuild our proud order. I am afraid he will not be so easily swayed. And should it come to blows, as I fear it will, know that his strength far surpasses ours. He is the only person alive who has opened all 14 chakra. Recently I have focused on opening light chakra, of my own aspect. I have succeeded in opening but 6. I am no match for Master Ratia. You are our best hope, Lin. Even so, you are still 1 chakra short of 14. A small yet decisive difference. If you are to have a fighting chance, you must open the final chakra that eludes you. The 7th chakra of shadow. Alas, this presents a dilemma. There's no way to do so outside of mortal combat. There will be another way. There always is. All our chakra may not be open, but we have each other. Together we may yet rescue Zensa. Thank you, Wiedergeld. I swear to do my utmost to aid you. That is well, but first Ochaka must recover. We return to Revenant's Toll. There's much planning to do. Wiedergeld. Whoa, Wiedergeld. He uses weed! Wiedergeld. A healer tends Ochaka. When she is well enough, we will work to open our chakra. We both saw how Ochaka fears her master. It is not normal. As you warned, words may not avail us. We must be prepared for anything. Continue your training, Lin, and together let us go forward as proud disciples of light. Anything at level 56? No, how? Yeah, it really is going to be like up until level 60 that we get something again. I do remember there not being a lot of skills for Monk. Monkey. It seems your training proceeds apace, then. Would that I could say the same of our search for Hastien. With heretic activity on the rise of late, our forces are stretched thin. The Temple Knights have not the men to spare for the search effort. Be it as it may, we are not without leads. A short while ago, a peculiar report arrived from the front lines. In a recent skirmish between our knights and a band of heretics, one of the enemy was wielding a lance bearing a striking resemblance to Peregrine. The lance is a treasure belonging to Hastien's family. If the reports are true, these heretics now have it. However, the villains came to possess Peregrine. It's more than likely that they know something of Hastien's fate. If we can find them, we may yet find her. West of Camp Riversmead, in the Western Highlands, a regiment of knights hunts the self-same band of heretics we seek. I would have you join them, Lin. It is our best hope for a clue. Everybody loves Western Curtis Highlands. It's such a fun place, 'cause there's only one Easter, right? Ugh. Dawn of the Mylodons. Jesus. Sir Alberic sent word that you would come. The heretics retreated through yonder passage, the man with the lance Penegrin among them. Our forces are giving chase even as we speak. Needless to say, we should be grateful for the Azure Dragoons' aid. Bum, 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 bum. Seem that she has been captured by the heretics. I find myself thanking you often of late, Lyn. When I leapt upon Growly and pierced his hide, the creature responded by soaring and attempting to shake me off. It was all I could do. It was all I could do to hold on to the shaft of my lance. High as we had climbed, I could not safely dismount, and so I bided my time, waiting for the right moment to jump clear of my unwilling mount. Alas, the beast had other ideas, bore me straight into the heretic's midst, and I was swiftly overwhelmed and divested of my weapon. What? It was the sighting of Peregrine that led you here? It would seem my forefathers watch over me. Hear me, Lyn. The man who took my lance is the leader of this band of heretics. I overheard the guard saying that he has departed to meet with the leaders of yet another group. In all likelihood, they are plotting a large-scale assault on the Holy See. The temple knights must be warned. We must bear word to the congregation. They might bolster our defenses. No, I cannot return with you. There's a task I must needs attend to. Should someone ask whence this information came, tell them that you wrung it out of a heretic. And tell them that I fell in battle. I know full well I ask much of you, and it pains me to deceive my father, but I have no other choice. Whatever you might think of my request, believe me when I say that I remain firm in my purpose. 'Tis nothing. I took but a glancing blow to the chest. I must go now, as must you. When you return to the congregation, deliver my message to Sir Handelip. Please take care of my comrades and my father. Ostien, slain. I cannot believe it. To lose one of our best while Growly's shadow looms over us still. But we must deal with each threat as it comes. First, we prepare for the heretics. I thank you for alerting us to their plan. Now, loath though I am to place this burden upon you, Monter Gaines must needs be informed of his daughter's passing. He has gone to meet Sir Alberic at the observatorium. Pray bear the news to him. Ra-da-da. Ah, Mistress Lyn. Have you learned all of my daughter's whereabouts? What's slain? No, it cannot be. I'm sorry, my friend. Ostien is one of Ishgard's finest dragoons. She would not fall to a common heretic. This must be some kind of mistake. Yes, a terrible mistake. Ooh. Why do you not speak? Are you hiding something from me? You are, aren't you? There's writ plain upon your face. Please, I must know what became of my daughter. You may think to spare me pain, but I must know the truth. What, Hostian chose not to return? I know not what compels her to act as she did, but it is enough for me that she still lives. Thank you for giving me this hope, at least. To those who do not know her, it may well appear as though Hostian has deserted. But I believe I speak for all of us when I say that she would not forsake her vows, let alone her people. Indeed you do, Sir Elbrick. However inexplicable my daughter's actions may seem, I will not cease to believe in her, no matter what it takes. I will not find her. I will find her and bring her home. Montergains puts on a brave front, but I fear the weight of worry may prove too much for him to bear. Yet another reason to find Hostian with all haste. Now it seems plain that she means to go after Growly and to recover Peregrine. And while his objectives alone do not explain her decisions to leave, they reveal to us where she is like to be. I shall track down the leader of the heretics, the man who has Peregrine. You, meanwhile, must continue dedicating yourself to your life's work. The trials of recent days have made you stronger, but I sense that the greatest tests are yet to come. See to it that you are full ready to face them. As we learn, Fang and Claw. Delivers an attack with a potency of 260, or 300 when executed from a target's flank. Can only be executed while under the effect of Fang and Claw bared, granted by full thrust. So you basically now have a different combo of 1, 2, 3, and then you do Fang and Claw. Yep, that's it. Now you can also get Wheel in Motion, but that is for another, like for a similar skill, but then in the buttocks. Right, so you'll basically be like swapping between the two. Let's see, anything else? No. So Wheeling Thrust over here. This is the one for the butt. It's the one you aim in the butt. So clap them dragon cheeks. Other than that, there's nothing new. Ninja time. Medieval espionage. Okay. Floating around at the speed of Mount. Then Jack's network has caught wind of those who has been selling the Yatsurugi clan's stolen treasures. This is information that may lead us straight to the dagger. He has summoned us both to the guild, but could I ask you to go by yourself? I cannot leave just now. Akagi and Princess Yuki are on their way there, or on their way here. I sent a missive telling them we might have information on the bandit who robbed her. The princess desires to learn more of them, and so she has seen fit to join us. I believe Jack will give you his thread. Follow it and return once you have unraveled the truth. Oh yay. We get to talk to Jack again. Mind you, I like Jack as a character, but man, I do not like the way he speaks. Because it's difficult to read. Run! Run, you fool! Well then, gods know it ain't simple to make black marketeers talk, but we tickled Mulfa Kelfa's neck with a stabber and he coughed up a lot of information. The remaining bauble, a dagger by all accounts, is to be sold at auction, and attendance is invitation only. The hosts are a band what go by the name of the True Hounds. Now in the eyes of the law, they're selling loot cloyed from Imperials on an expedition to the Far East, where Garlemald don't control where your Dimber moors from. It's a bit a mummery, turn in a profit under the guise of a proper company. The buyers won't ask too many questions either. Grabbled or no, treasure is treasure. But it's just your princess's wit against the true ones. The guild can't act on that, not officially anyway. I've left the investigate into a, well, let's call him a black marketeer. He's a strange one. Only came to the guild's attention recently, but I've never met a cove who could get information so quickly. The veil was lifted by a southerly this morn. That'll put the man at the House of Sticks. Here's a sack of blunt. Been a luck to you, lass. I hope you understood exactly what he was talking about. Please, translate exactly what he said. I managed to read it properly then. Relatively properly. I know you. I know this man. Hello, sir. You want information? Then come, render unto me what is mine. If you had a sack of gil for every time someone entrusted you with a big sack of gil, you would need a bigger sack. Yes, this seems to be everything I was promised. The back alleys are awfully profitable, eh? About these true hands. Most of the salt hounds crawled back to land after the calamity, but a few refused to leave the seas and took up again as the true hounds. They sail under the black flag of one Captain Rosalind. They boast the strength of a crew twice their size, mostly because of the Pluto they take. With their muscles bolstered by the substance and a healthy dose of natural viciousness, they have brought themselves fortune and infamy on the eastern seas. Now, however, they've hidden their ship away on Hullbreaker Isle and made their way to Costa del Sol. Seems they fancied a cup of ale and a peek at the dancing girls. But they won't be hard to spot if you wanted to look. But do so at your own peril. Drunken pirates might not frighten you, but Redway, their new sellsword, should. They say he's an ex-member of Guardian covert operations, one who has thrown himself into the study of ninjutsu. His pursuit has paid off handsomely, albeit at the cost of his humility. Stay vigilant, or you'll find his blade pricking your back. Anyhow, that's all for me. Give my best to the dim one, Dolchik. Ha That's to Costa del Sol. You took the funk out of my soul. Redway. I lost me plunder. That's coin I may never get back. But you convinced me to give you time. Make your report worth me while, or I'll have you read. There were 2 thieves, Captain. The Iron Orchid herself and some servants. The latter looks to be more brawny than brave, but the princess is dangerous. She has 2 shinobi in her employ. One is a Doman Yonan Oboro. He too is a force to be reckoned with. The other is an Aura, Lin, if I'm not wrong. She is famous in her own right, and dangerous. Their involvement makes me think the princess has more coin than she lets on. These 2 are responsible for our master's death. Their services cannot be cheap. Or, whoopsie, that's the wrong voice. Your master's murderers, eh? You wouldn't be dreaming of avenging Gekkai on my time now, would you? Vengeance, Captain? Why? Gekkai treated me like scum. He and Karasu both. Because I wasn't from their precious little village. But Oboro, if I triumph over Gekkai's favorite, I triumph over a lot of them. That is what my heart desire. That is my heart's desire, yes. I could give a gnat's arse what you do with the ninjas, but it's not them I want, it's the princess, alive. The way I see it, the auction's the perfect trap, baited as it is with the Yatsurugi dagger. The Iron Orchid can't resist. Catching her then'll be easy and fast. Savvy, Redway? Of course, the princess won't stand a chance with the guard doubled. No, she won't. Meanwhile, you can hear a cat playing with something in the background. Super immersion. Success, then. This Rosalind is a clever one, spying upon us through Redway. Princess Defoe will be watching for her tricks now. Reclaiming the last treasure will be that much harder. So I beg you, leave it to us shinobi. I know there is sense in what you say, Oboro, but this is my problem. I alone must solve it. I will not allow more people to die in my name. The true hounds didn't just steal the treasures. My people stood in their way, and many died. Too many. I wanted to fight, but my vassals wouldn't allow it. And as they were cut down, they called for me, screamed my name. You can't imagine how that feels. My lands are close to destruction. My people are on the brink of starvation. If I do not do something, all their sacrifices will mean nothing. When I came here, I vowed that I would bring prosperity to my country by finding and selling my treasures. Alone. No one would ever die protecting me again. Not my small folk, nor my vassals, nor you. You don't want anyone to die protecting you, princess? What about those of us who would give our lives willingly to defend you? If you won't trust in the shinobi, then I'll slice open my belly. I am bound to you, princess, but they are not. We've given them no coin, no gratitude, and yet they're still helping us. What is happening behind me? You can trust them. You have to. Or there's no taking back the treasure. Trust the shinobi, or lose me and add one more to those who died trying to protect you. That'll get you to stop, right, princess? Akagi, you have the strangest way of... Clearly, the shinobi have left a great impression upon you. Oboro Lin, consider this my formal request. Help me retake our treasure. Our last treasure. But I have one condition. No matter what happens, you will not lay down your lives for mine. Call it a duty to stay alive, if you wish. To stay alive, An interesting notion. Shinobi are trained to put duty ahead of all else, including our lives. That said, Lin, this is the mission that has been given you. You are duty bound to see it through. And come what may, I know that completing it will aid in your growth as a shinobi. Now, we wait and watch for signs of the auction. I will approach Jack with the eyes and ears in his service. We will spread a web and so catch word of the Yatsurugi clan's dagger. Yes. As we learn something new. Dream within a dream. Which is an upgrade to our assassinates. Now we deliver a threefold attack, each hit with a potency of 150. So altogether an attack with a potency of 450. As opposed to assassinate, which was 200. So we basically double it and a little bit more. Anything else at 56? No. Time to be a bard. You came at a good time, Lynn. Sylviel and I and his expedition are due to return any moment now. Help, for God's sakes! Hear my tale, I beg of you. A group of us were surveying ancient ruins when we stumbled into Nath territory. The creatures took us captive. I was the only one who managed to flee. Tell me, is the leader of your party a man named Sylviel? How did you know? But yes, I am his hired sword. I run back to Tailfeather as swiftly as my legs could carry me. But no one here is willing to help us. And why the hell's not? Going into Nath territory is tantamount to suicide. They warned us, but we ignored them, thinking we could manage, but wrong we were. There are people in need, Lynn. Are we going to ignore their plight, or are we going to lend them our aid? We can't abandon them. Huh, that was just a rhetorical question, but thanks for humoring me all the same. I will go and rescue these people, and I'm sure you'd be no less enthused even if Sylviel weren't among them. As for you, friend, while we're off saving your employers ours, I want you to tell the craven bastards they're a bunch of craven bloody bastards. Needless to say, I'm coming as well. Let us begin by scouting the entrance to a lost ass Nath. Right. Now I'm thinking about it. Wait. This makes sense? Does it make sense? Yes. This one needs to go over here. I think. Man. Me trying to remember my hotbars for my main character. It doesn't really help that I'm not playing a lot of the other jobs lately with my main character. Since everything is already maximum level, so. I only stop if I want like a change of pace. Right, and of course it's one of these boys. This man is Sylviel's assistant. He managed to win free, but Sylviel is still being held within. Let us go and extricate him. That we shall. Gilad and I will draw them away. Please tend to Master Sylviel. You are? No time for chit-chat. Hurry on out of here. We'll keep the Nath occupied. You have my thanks. Do I need to... Okay, yeah, they're gonna be fighting those, and I'm just gonna be... Keep them away from Master Sylviel. Who are like these two? You're talking about these two buggers over here? Yes. You ain't crossing this line, buddy. Come on, buddy. Ba-da-ba. Right. Today we fight. There we go. Are you right, Master Sylviel? Aye, a little shaken, perhaps, but otherwise all of body. A statement I am able to make thanks to your timely arrival. May I ask the names of my saviors? I am Sanson of the Order of the Twin Adder, and my companions are the bards Lyn and Gidlot. We three are on a journey to find a legendary song. The Ballad of Oblivion it is called, and we were given to understand that you may have knowledge of it. But this is not an ideal place for conversation. Let us first return to Tailfeather. Bum. Oh, oh. Oh. This hunter here wishes a word with us. I won't keep you long. I just wanted to say thanks for waking us up, is all. Tailfeathers made up of folk who come here seeking their fortune, you see, and such folk tend to put themselves first. But most of us are ashamed we didn't lift a finger to help them as we're in need, and we're determined to do better from now on. To be sure, getting called craven bloody bastards stung at first, but after the grumbling died down, none could deny that it was the truth, and that's all I wanted to say. You certainly have a knack for moving people, my friends. Though I suppose it is only to be expected of bards. But come, let us speak of the song you seek, the Ballad of Oblivion. Curtin legend speaks of a saint of song in the heavens. This saint is an individual with transcendent mastery over poetry and verse, and 'tis said that he can bring a battle to its conclusion with a song. As for being in the heavens, I suspect it is a figurative expression, but I cannot say for certain at this juncture. I shall investigate the legend further, a small gesture of gratitude for having saved our lives. While we wait to hear from Master Silvio, let us conduct our own investigation. Curtin literature may yield us some clues. If you ask me, it sounds like naught but a fairy tale. I'd wager that heavens is just a metaphor for a natural phenomenon. Fit a dead end. I say return to Gridania for now and look for other avenues. And if you ask me, I think it's far too early to draw conclusions. I, for one, mean to continue searching until I find a definite answer. If you wish to abandon our mission, I'll not stop you. But know that you would be judged a deserter. You would lose your place in the god's quiver, and that would be precisely what your superiors had intended. Look, Gidlot, you of all people must know the true reason they chose you for this mission. They wanted you out of the way. Your skills had naught to do with it. And it isn't so different from me. I was a thorn in their side, demanding cooperation when they were loath to give it. They were pleased to be rid of me as well. Yet naught would please them more than for us to come back empty-handed. That is why we must succeed, and that is why we must find the Ballad of Oblivion. If you want to find the song so badly, you can bloody well find it yourself. I've had a gutful. You're no bard. I doubt you even understand what gives a song its power. Yet here you are gallivanting about searching for one. To you, the Ballad of Oblivion is just a means to curry favor with the brass hats. Well, that's an insult to honest-to-God's bards like me and Lyn. Ah, gods, what have I done? I did not mean to be antagonizing. Though my pride won't let me tell him this, I know that Gidlot is a truly exceptional bard. With his skills married to my unit composition, I had hoped that we might prove our detractors wrong. Alas, my words failed to convey that intent. Given time, I believe that Gidlot will come around. I shall wait for him here. Meanwhile, I ask that you have patience with us. As we learn, Iron Jaws. I think, wasn't it F1 though that I used that on? No, that was... Man. I wish I could remember. But I really can't. Anyway. Iron Jaws delivers an attack with a potency of 100. If the target is suffering from a caustic bite or storm bite effect inflicted by you, the effect timer is reset. So instead of now having to use both caustic bite and storm bite, or the earlier versions of it, Instead of having to use this attack twice, you can now just use Iron Jaws and it will just extend the debuff timer. So yeah. Gun time. I have an amalgamation of gear for this because of the dungeon I've been doing. Time for a stretch. Time to praise the sun. There we go. Greetings, then. This is not a wonderful day to be a machinist. Lord Stephanie and the Hellenord, you and the Skysteel Manufacturing employees employees under your authority are hereby charged with fomenting insurrection. Who in God's name is this? Insurrection, my dear sir, I have fomented nothing of the sort. You stand accused of armoring commoners with weapons of war and discharging said weapons within the locality of the Broom. Ah, that little scene when we liberated Joy's father. Henceforth, the manufactory shall remain under Temple Knight surveillance. Should you fail to refute the accusation against you within the allotted time, punishment may include seizure of your workshop, and imprisonment of all those deemed accomplices to the crime. If you retake that smirking fox, Telegrinch knew we would attempt a rescue. Once they set their sights on summit, them Temple Knights is like a bandersnatch with a bone. You'd best say farewell to your workshop. They'll not take my manufactory. I will think of something. It is difficult to prove the truth of something one has not done. Mayhap the wiser course would be to provide evidence of Telegrinch's wrongdoings. He's a clever bastard, though, that one. You might try. But I'd best not overstep me bounds. The contract's almost done in any case, and I'll be moving on no matter what happens to the workshop. Our instructor, he sure don't like to get involved. As for me, I'll see if I can find any strings connecting House to Mail to their crimes. The Forgotten Knights Knight should be a good place to start. I don't know what I'd do without the workshop. I'll see if I can get some folks talking. And that leaves you and me, Lynn. I believe I shall remain here in the manufactory to occupy the gaze of the Temple Knights, whilst you aid Stowe with his inquiries. I appreciate you coming out, Lynn. It's a bit hard planning out in the workshop over the Temple Knights eyeballing their every move. You should be able to talk freely in here, though. You recall that bloke as was standing guard over Joy's dad? Aye, Fredo. Fredo is his name. He took to marksmanship with a passion and hadn't missed a single day of training. Not until today. Got suspicious, of course, and decided to pay a visit to his home. Right away, you could see the door has been kicked in. So I went inside and had me a proper look. That's when I found a ragged feather just lying there on the floor amidst the bits of broken furniture. If I wanted to keep my hands clean, then maybe I'd hire some thugs from out of town to do for poor Fredo. Thugs what might otherwise make a living poaching wild chocobos. Suggest you talk to Lord Stephanivian and take a trip out to Tailfeather. I'll keep poking around here in the city and see what else crawls out of the stonework. This may be our best lead. If we can track down the man who first employed Fredo, then we shall have a solid link to House Mail. Let us waste no time. Onward to the Bavarian Forelands and to Failfeather? Failfeather, yes, Tailfeather. Christ. Good news then. I have spoken with some few of these hunter fellows, and they told me a trio of ruffians that passed through here dragging a man matching Fredo's description. We shall scour the forest to the south, if you will look to the north. Do not wait for us, should you find these ruffians. Then pray confront them ere Fredo comes to further harm. No witnesses, cut this one's throat as well. How did you find me? My thanks. I did not expect to see another dawn. Fredo, not leaking blood, are you? Splendid. You gave us quite a scare. Forgive me, my lord. Those men, they dragged me from my home. Said they'd hurt me if I didn't swear false witness to the Temple Knights. You were forced to substantiate their accusations. Then you merely need to withdraw your testimony to strengthen our position. It'd be a boon if we were also able to provide some manner of physical evidence. A seal of house the mail. It would explain how the ruffians who snatched Fredo were able to enter the city without challenge. They shall do nicely. I am truly sorry, my lord. All it took was one little beating for me to repay your kindness of betrayal. I'll not darken your doorstep again. What nonsense! You hardly had a choice in the matter. Continue your training at the manufactory. However, and you'll become more than a match for thugs such as these. Even without a noble's wealth or prestige, a common man can earn himself independence. You see, the machinist firearm is more than just shooting dragons. For more than just shooting dragons, it can help you set you free. His lordship's vision will change Ishgard for the better. Come with us, Fredo. Become the spear and the shield that our city needs. I'd like that. I like to feel like I'm worth something. We all make mistakes, my dear fellow. The trick is to learn from them and rise stronger from every defeat. Come, let us return to the manufactory. Are you fucking serious, bro? How did he make it so I got attacked in that cutscene? Or just at the end of that cutscene? Which made me fail. What? Whatever, man. I can't believe you've done this. Jesus freaking Christ. The tables have turned, my friend. I have submitted the evidence you found to the Temple Knights. With the aid of Fredo's new testimony, we had enough proof to lodge a counter-accusation against Telagridge. The wheels of justice have begun to turn, and we shall soon be free of these baser suspicions. In the meantime, Rosenthal requested that I instruct you to remember your bleed and practice drills. Charming fella. As we learn, Tactician. Which reduces damage taken by self and nearby party members by 10%. Effect cannot be stacked with Bard's Troubadour or Dancer's Shield Samba. So there you go, just an AoE, like, I think the same range as Peloton, but then just reduce the damage taken by 10% for 15 seconds, which is pretty freaking decent. Fair warning right now, I will make this episode, I'm gonna keep recording until I'm done with the Black Mage and the Summoner. Joffers right now. I want to finish this now and then I'll stop my recording session for the day. I can go and do something else. Ba, 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 ba. Lynn, I've received another letter. Denyer, please help me hide in Alder Springs. Tell Lynn. That was all. That's all it says. The handwriting is barely legible. It doubtless goes without saying, but Dozal Melek is in need of our help. I shall have to tell Zainelha about this. Do not dwell on his previous outbursts. I know you have full control over your powers. Use this opportunity to show that man the true cunning and finesse that a black mage can bring to the fight. Enough talk. Hurry to Elder Springs and save Dozal Melek. Defiant Mage. The warrior of the mage. And just because I want to, flare time. Thank you, Lin. Saved Dozal's life you have. Kazakh Cha tried to warn Dozal. Dozal panicked, tried to flee, but get caught. Dozal did. Somehow knew that Dozal was exiled from tribe, these mages did, so into the forest they chased Dozal. Finally, they surrounded Dozal, offered friendship at first, but rejected Dozal did. They said if Dozal is not friend, then Dozal enemy, but save Dozal you did. Many thanks. God, so it's too late again. You've already cut your swath of reckless destruction. What did you plan to achieve? How many more lives must you end before you realize how fruitless this is? Wait, these wounds, they're unlike anything I've ever seen. Looks like they were incinerated from the inside. Lin, was this perhaps not your doing after all? Of what does this man speak? Pursued Dozal for a long time, these men did. Tried to kill Dozal, Squawk. Explain. Who are they? What do they want? Dozal understands now. Read the Book of Thal they did. Learned of mother of Dozal. Learned of her secrets, Dozal's secrets. Made clear their pursuit is. But these wounds, perhaps Dozal has an explanation. These men did not have the gem of Shatoto. Dozal think that is why they died. Gem of Shatoto? Whatever are you talking about? Gem is proof that Lin is true black mage. Gem brims with magical power. Without Gem of Shatoto, impossible to control. The most powerful black magic is. Lost control these mages did. Ether within their own bodies ignited. Burned alive from the inside. Painful way to die it is. So these defiant mages fell victim to their own arrogance, using dark magics that far outstrip their ability to control them. So Lin isn't at fault. The answers you seek, Dozal hopes you find, but Dozal cannot stay here. Dozal must leave. Thank you, Lin. Dozal owes you a debt of life. One day Dozal will repay. So these men were not slain by your hand, but by their own use of power they couldn't control. But please understand that the fact that you can control your powers does nothing to resolve the issue at hand. You should return to Lalai and explain to her what happened here. Please accept my apologies for my earlier accusations. Nice and short job quest. Perfect. Now in before the summoner one is a really long one. I don't expect that to be the case, but you know. I've been surprised before. Then was Dozal Melek unharmed? I see. Well, if nothing else, it seems that Zai and Nella no longer doubt your innocence, but the Defiant were emulated from within. If Dozal Melek's conjecture is accurate, the cult's situation becomes quite clear, but I hardly need to explain that to you, do I? But if you were to explain it to me? Suppose for one to whom these powers come as second nature, some things are not as easily noticeable. Or noticed. The Defiant's numbers cannot continue to grow indefinitely. They'll have difficulty swelling their ranks when they cannot use their powers without the risk of a horrifying death by immolation. Thus they strive for control over the dark arts, while showing themselves only to our beastmen friends in the hope that they might reveal the secrets to controlling these magics. Fortunately, we have prevented them from learning anything. With these avenues now lost to him, Waldeef must realize that he is running out of options. Though we may lack leads from which to track down the Defiant, their position becomes weaker the longer they wait. They will soon be forced to take action. There's no need to rush, we need simply wait the enemy out. Quest complete. As we get the trait Enochian. That's not the correct menu. What does... I'm going to check if there's anything else at 56 that I might have missed. No, it's just Enochian. Increases damage dealt by 5% while under the effect of Astral Fire or Umbral Ice. Upon successfully landing Fire 2, while under the effect of Astral Fire, grants Enhanced Flare. Enhanced Flare effect ends if Astral Fire is lost. Is this a thing that has always been there? Or is this a... I think this is the thing that you now get, which is Enhanced Flare. So, what does Advanced Flare do? Do I also get this with this? No, I only get it with this, yeah, because it's the AoE, right. So, Enhanced Flare deals fire damage with a potency of 220 normally. And if you have Enhanced Flare, you do a attack with a potency of 280 instead. So, well, unlike the first enemy, and 40% less for all remaining enemies. So it is straight up an upgrade. Wait, hold up, what am I doing? I'm already in here. Let me go and get my carbuncle out. Alright. Run! Run! Then my cat starts running after her toys. Greetings, then. I hope you are prepared to take action. Ever since we increased our presence on the trade routes, our Black Road villain has ceased his attacks. Now it is our turn to go on the offensive. With the blessings of my superiors, I have arranged a lightly guarded shipment of crystals with which we will lure Tristan into an ambush. And I want you there when we spring the trap. I've already sent word to Ymithra, and she will meet us in Camp Blue Fog. Let us bring an end to this, then. That is an interesting choice, actually, turning that stuff blue. I guess, is she a blue mage? No. That's cool. Right. Lynn, you're here. Good, our crystal couriers have just left camp. The plan is simple. The caravan will head towards the processing plant, but conveniently breaks an axle before reaching the East Watchtower. We three will take up separate positions nearby and wait for Tristan to take the bait. I've had the driver complaining long and loudly about the lack of suitable escort for his precious cargo, so he can be reasonably sure that an attack will come. I trust you need no further explanations. Head to your assigned position and do your best to keep out of sight. Ah, it burns! It burns! So just straight up Asians, huh? Get wrecked. I may be slightly over-leveled though. Talk to me, soldier. I'll live, Captain. Pop right out of thin air took me by surprise. Same happened to me. Another man in dark robes stepped through some manner of portal and assailed me with spells. My position also came under attack, an underling, judging by the ease with which I dispatched him. But I've never before seen such teleportation magics. No, he cannot be. You know this man, Captain Wolf? This is Gaheden, Tristan's brother, but how? He was tempered, slain. And now both siblings have disappointed me. I should exercise more care in choosing my pawns. And Asien, that voice. You were the one who taught Tristan the art of summoning. If you come to inflict yet more misery upon the world. Tristan? Yes, that was the other one's name, or the other's name. I'd hoped to groom him, granted him the knowledge of Alex's mages, that he might unleash his wrath against the primals. Alas, he was all too easily vanquished. No matter, the Bringer of Light has proven a far more than adequate replacement for my failed Godslayer. With every primal you kill, the beastman's fervor grows ever hotter. We need but supply the tribes with crystals, and watch as they summon ever more terrible deities. When the confluence of chaos reaches its peak, the world shall be swallowed in darkness. Our master shall rise again. He's gone. And we should be gone as well. I shall see that my soldier is treated for his wounds and await you outside the Hall of Flames. I believe some reassessment is in order. We now know that the Black Road menace we thought to be Tristan was actually his brother, Gaheden, reanimated puppet under the control of an Asien. Both brothers were present at ffXIV's defeat, so Gaheden's aura too would have been stained with the primal essence, which, if I understand correctly, would explain his ability to command an Eggy. Or the Eggy, whatever. But for that Asien to raise the lad's corpse and press him into service as his pet summoner, I shall see that Blackguard suffer for his cruel depravity. Aye, the Paragon has many crimes for which he must answer, but we must move with great caution. The power of these immortals is not to be underestimated. I will return to Gridania and redouble my efforts to decipher the meaning of the remaining tombstones. We cannot face an Asien unprepared. Well. So at 56 there's not really anything, I think. No. Okay. Alright, my friends. Before we leave, I'm gonna use one of these boys. And we're gonna go and turn basically all of the gear that I have in my inventory that I don't need, which is all of this stuff over here. I'm gonna turn those into seals, and we're gonna buy some loot boxes. I want to show this off really, because that's usually what I use my seals for. There's a lot of things that you can use your seals for. But I like to have these freaking loot box things because gambling. Just keep doing this and keep hearing the jingle over and over and over and over. I'm not sure if I can get there without filling up, like without maxing out my tombstones. This will be close. God dang it, I won't be able to do it. Okay. So, there's a lot of stuff you can get from these. You can get like all these materials over here, which you can usually sell for a decent amount of money. You can also get food if you want to. You can get all of the pieces from the Realm Reborn relic weapons if you want. Aetherite tickets for some reason. A lot of different stuff in general. But I already have everything that I want, to be quite honest. There's not really anything that I care about too much other than that. I'm kind of wondering though, can you just buy Aetherite tickets over here? Or is that not a thing you can do with seals? You can only buy like a Maelstrom Aetherite ticket, I think. Either that or I'm blind. So because there's also other material things. Nope. I don't think I can actually get them this way. Nah, whatever, it's not important. What I'm here for is this. This will give you a random minion or a random mount, if they are in there, of a certain expansion. When it comes to the Material Container 3.0, it contains a random mount or minion introduced in A Realm Reborn or Heavensward. And then you choose a random mount or minion introduced in Stormblood. That is all. Let's go and open them up, because I want to. So we get a baby bat. There's, I think, like 2 mounts that you can get from this one, specifically. One up to Kieran. Any, like, doubles that you can get, you can also just sell on the market board. Some of them are worth a decent amount, some of them are worth nothing. That's just kind of the luck of the draw, I guess. But it's better doing that than just not, like, than maxing out your seals and not doing anything with them. In any case, that is my humble opinion. Anyway, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just What It Was playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we are going to go and continue with some more MSQ. Goodbye.